Hey.
Alexa, tell us about the Devil's Wedding Night.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
Yes, you do. You were just talking about it. Alexa, tell us about the Devil's Wedding Night.
Sorry, I don't have an answer for that.
Alexa, tell me about the Devil's Wedding Night from 1973.
From oldies.com. The Devil's Wedding Night, 1973. Color. Carl Schiller journeys to Transylvania in search of his lost twin brother, who he believes is being held prisoner in Castle Dracula.
Hey, there's
Fair
a plot
enough.
summary. How about that?
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Yeah. Well, anyways, this is B-Views. I'm Mike Shea.
I'm Johnny Juicebox.
Yeah.
Yeah. We watched The Devil's Wedding Night because I bought this Blu-ray for like $10 or something at the exclusive company when it was going out of business because I was like, this looks fucked up.
And it wasn't that fucked up, really.
No. It was kind of like a Hammer movie.
Yeah.
And I like Hammer movies.
Right.
So,
It kind of, I know some people may not understand that, so...
So Hammer Films was a company that existed. I mean, it might still exist to an extent.
Okay.
But I don't think it's that.
I have no
Because
idea.
I think they might have been bought or acquired by someone.
Okay.
But they're basically, I think, a British film company that existed, and they are most famous for making weird exploitation movies in the late 50s to the early 70s.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that obviously...
Especially famous for the Peter Cushing Christopher Lee movies, Dracula movies.
Right. Okay.
Where Peter Cushing played Van Helsing, and he was hunting Christopher Lee as Dracula.
Sure. So you got a little bit of a taste of that with this film, then?
Oh, it's got the same kind of...
Okay.
This is very much the kind of style and feel of those movies. It's a very gothic movie.
Okay.
And that's...
Right.
Those Hammer movies kind of like pioneered the gothic style of film through those time periods. With... I want to say they also did movies like House of Usher and things like that.
Okay. Okay.
They did a remake of Phantom of the Opera at that time. They kind of ran through and continued all of the Universal monster movies throughout the late 50s and 60s and 70s.
Okay. Yeah, so we watched Inspiration, I guess, with Hammer Films here.
Yeah.
That's
it is an Italian film.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's weird, but it's not weird enough to be Italian, to feel like an Italian film.
Right. It isn't like a giallo or...
We've watched Italian movies for our movie nights, and also we did a whole Lucio Fulci
we did that for
series for Halloween.
Yeah.
We did the Gates of Hell trilogy.
Yeah, that fucking great movie, The Beyond.
Yeah. I mean, City of the Living Dead and House by the Cemetery are classics, and The Beyond is alright.
I watched that movie 4 times too many.
You've just watched that movie a lot. That's the difference.
I have.
And it's... I don't know. This one is very, very Hammer, as opposed to very Italian.
Yeah. Okay.
But this isn't... Like, most of the Italian movies we've watched are from the 80s.
Right.
So, you know,
sure.
This is a 1973 film.
Yeah, so it's in early 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is probably one of the older movies that we've watched on this channel.
The oldest is definitely The Invisible Man.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
From the first time. But, I mean, we don't go into the 70s very often at all.
No.
I don't think.
Mm-mm. No. I mean, we cover somewhat newer movies, and...
No. This is listed as having moderate nudity on IMDb.
It is not.
This was like...
There's a lot of titties.
This was challenging Blood Diner for nudity tonight.
There's a lot of titties and ass, for sure.
I think we get 5 virgins sacrificed in this movie.
Yeah, before that, I mean, I would say it was moderate nudity. You know, Well, I mean, compared to obviously what Blood Diner was.
Italy said there was too much sex in the movie.
Well, obviously when they released the Blu-ray copy, that there wasn't any smooching below the.
There was.
Below the buttocks and really didn't have
it
any
didn't
of that.
say that.
Right.
It said that the scenes where they were kissing a woman's abdomen were removed from the film, and that was in this copy.
I know.
Or that was in this copy.
Yeah.
So tonight what I did was we were like, oh, well, we don't really know what to watch. So I just pulled a bunch of movies that I own that we haven't watched.
Yep.
Including Blood Diner and Devil's Wedding Night.
Yep.
And because of the title, we were like, oh man, we're probably never going to watch this movie because it's probably weird. And,
and we got a lot of movies to watch.
Yeah. We got a lot of Japanese movies to watch.
We do.
I have a movie that's called Orgies of Edo that's apparently really fucked up.
Okay.
And I don't know if we can film on it. I don't know if we can type that title into YouTube.
Oh, that's pretty bad.
Like, I don't know if you can put orgies in the title of your video.
Oh, I have no idea.
On YouTube. But
you can put like ORG and then like asterisks or something.
I'll type it out in fucking numbers.
There we go. That's a great idea. Yeah, but anyways, we kind of got the plot from a useless thing over there. And that's really kind of what it is. It's
the plot synopsis for this is like 3. Although they leave out the ending completely on the Wikipedia page.
Yep. They leave out pretty much everything on the Wikipedia page.
So basically, Franz, right? It's Franz is the one that goes first.
Yep.
Franz goes to Castle Dracula looking for this ring that's like this fucking big.
Very big.
It's huge.
Very big.
It must have been made out of plastic or some shit because there's no way anyone would be able to hold up their goddamn hand because it's so fucking big.
Nope. That would be very heavy.
Yeah. Heavy
so obviously Franz goes there and then his
has
brother
sex with the Countess.
Yeah.
And then gets locked in a.
Who then turns into a bat.
Yeah, she turns into a bat while they're having sex.
Yeah.
In a very long sex scene. Like
that was a very long sex scene.
I literally left the room, went and got water,
came back,
looked around because I forget where the glasses are every time I come over here. Like dicked around in the kitchen for like 5 minutes, came back and they were still having sex.
Yeah. Actually, it just ended when he came back.
Nope, because it cut to the mysterious man.
Yeah.
And then it cut back to them having sex.
Like Keith Richards.
Because the sex is going on for so long in the movie that we just don't have enough time to stay on this scene.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we were kind of like, we seen the guy rolling up and it's like, isn't that the same guy? And it was the same guy.
Yeah, because I thought they were... I didn't think they looked as similar in the first scene.
No.
In the first scene, it very clearly looked like 2 separate people, but then later on, he's very clearly played by the same person.
Yep. Maybe that was the body double. I don't know.
Maybe, because there was a fun fact where they said that he was... Mark Damon plays Carl and Franz.
Yep.
But his body double is credited as playing one of them.
Yep.
And you can very clearly see because they keep cutting to the backs of them anytime they're talking.
Yeah.
So
they don't want to give it away too much.
No.
Yeah.
They probably were like, "Whoa, what do I do?" Well, we just won't show his face in the scene.
Right.
Or his head. I was doing that over the shoulder shot every time.
Right. Kind of like the Giantess Attack Year Zero, where they do the back shot and it's 2 Barbie dolls.
Yeah, it was definitely similar to that, except this movie seemingly had a better budget.
Yeah.
This movie made 117 million lira, which I think might be $15. I'm not sure.
Sure.
Based on... It's very confusing. But a rough estimate I think I found was 600 lira was $1 back then.
Okay. Okay.
That's why you're like, holy shit, that's a lot of money. And I was like, that's not that much money.
I don't know. I don't have any idea. Yeah. So, all right. Well, let's go on to the good.
Good?
Yeah.
Well, it's a very interesting movie.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's a bad movie.
No. No, I think they acted their fucking hearts out for sure.
Oh yeah,
they definitely did as good as they could have.
There was some good acting in this movie.
There was,
but like I think it might have been dubbed.
I think, for sure,
because there were some points where it looked dubbed, but it wasn't bad.
No,
dubbing.
No,
at all. So it was whatever.
Yeah,
didn't bother me very much.
No.
And I don't think Mark Damon was dubbed, but I think other people were dubbed in the movie.
I think so.
So they may have pulled a Dario Argento where everybody's just acting in their own language.
Right.
That was a famously how he filmed Suspiria.
Okay.
Dario Argento filmed Suspiria where I think they said throughout the cast there were like 10 different nationalities of people playing characters, and none of them shared a language, so everyone just delivered their lines in their own language, and then they just dubbed everyone over in English at the end.
All right. Yeah, that very well could be with what happened here, but we don't know.
That could have been, because Mark Damon is very much not an Italian actor.
No, not at all.
But every other actor in this movie is very Italian.
Very Italian.
Like, they have very Italian names that I'm not going to attempt because I can't speak Italian.
Nope.
And
we're not going to butcher it.
Like Esmeralda something and like some other things. Also, I'm bad at remembering names because I read through the cast before this. I remember Zero Papas.
Okay.
Which I'm pretty sure is a Greek name. So that guy's probably Greek. He plays the vampire monster.
Oh, all right.
I was confused by his presence in the movie.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea what the fuck he's supposed to be.
Unibrow
and he has no explanation.
No, unibrow vampire. That's what I'm going to call it. Yeah. It's sweet unibrow.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me.
People are credited strangely in this film, too. Like, the main love interest of this movie is just credited as Innkeeper's daughter.
Right.
Or zombie housekeeper. Or things like that, where anyone who's not the main three,
right?
They're not.
The bald guy kind of reminded me of Varys the Spider too.
Who?
Varys the Spider from Game of Thrones.
Who's the bald guy?
The bald vampire.
Oh, the Zeros Papas guy. Yeah, he reminded me of Tor Johnson from Plan 9.
Okay. Kind of looks like too the guy from Devil's Rejects and that one Wes Craven movie.
Not Haunting of Hill House. Hills Have Eyes.
There you go. That kind of really ugly looking bald guy.
That really nice dude.
Oh yeah, that awesome dude.
That guy who's like famously incredibly nice to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Who you're calling ugly and weird.
What? He looks weird. He does. Tell me he doesn't.
He's famously a character actor.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
He's a famous character actor, and I forget his name.
I never remember his name.
But I've seen him in and he also was supposed to play the skull-faced man in The Crow.
Oh.
But because Brandon Lee was killed before the scene was shot, he wasn't able to play the part.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Oh.
But he was they did all the special effects for him, and they pulled the makeup together and the outfit and everything, and then they decided not to shoot the scene after he died.
Oh. That's a bummer.
Apparently, the director of that movie did not want to continue filming after.
Oh, I can't imagine. I can't imagine.
But his fiance, Brandon Lee's fiance, convinced him to continue making the movie because Brandon was so proud of it.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yeah. I mean...
this isn't the Crow show, though.
No.
This isn't our Crow episode.
No. We'll touch that sometime.
Oh, man, I love that movie.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't know I loved it in high school when everybody loves The Crow, but like I might not like it now.
Yeah.
I've seen all 4 of them.
Did you?
Yeah, there were 4 of those movies.
I did not know that. I didn't even know there was a second one.
Yeah, they made 4 of them.
Wow. Okay.
And the first one is good.
Yeah. Sure. Alrighty, what else do you have for the good?
Oh man, I kind of like the really colorful blood in this movie.
Yeah, it's very.
They did that a lot with Hammer films and later Italian movies too. Okay. The really famous like bright red blood, and later on Giallo would be famous for that. Okay. You know, it always happens in like Suspiria where everything is like bright colors. Right. It's not accurate because it's all a fairy tale. You know what I mean?
Oh, sure. Sure.
I always describe Giallo movies kind of like that because everything feels like it's not real. Like it takes place in a fantasy world or something. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I think I said that about City of the Living Dead too. Yeah. Or I think I just said that about The Gates of Hell, where everything feels like some kind of cautionary tale. Right. Danny. I saw a thing where that actor someone was talking about that actor and
Little Daddy?
Bobby,
that's it. Bobby.
And like the actor who plays Bob in that movie in House by the Cemetery, apparently people go up and are like, man, I hated your voice in that movie, and he's like, well, that wasn't me. They dumped me over, so it wasn't my performance. Right.
Bob.
Daddy. Bob. It's very clearly just an adult doing a falsetto voice and pretending to be a child.
Sure. I think the good for me, like I said, is the acting.
This movie has a really cool kind of atmosphere to it too.
Yeah.
Like it's that gothic atmosphere. Everything is like big, creepy castles and weird forest shots. There's a lot of that kind of shit in Hammer films.
Yep.
I was gonna say, like, we watched Parasite Lady.
Yeah.
And Parasite Lady kind of gives me similar vibes, where I think whoever made Parasite Lady was a really big fan of Hammer films.
Right.
Because, and like these kinds of vampires, you know what I mean?
Sure.
He was like, oh yeah, Christopher Lee and like Devil's Wedding Night. Maybe he probably didn't see Devil's Wedding Night, but maybe he did.
Maybe.
Maybe he did. But it reminds me of that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because this is also another movie that doesn't have a lot of dialogue in it.
No, not much at all.
They took show don't tell way too far.
Yeah.
And I think that goes into the bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have nothing else for the good.
Yeah.
How about you, Jenny, for the bad?
Yeah, I think this takes show don't tell way too far. This is an example where show don't tell might not always be the best policy.
Right.
We could have used a little bit more explanation of things.
Yeah.
Because they don't do a great job of explaining why we're sacrificing 5 virgins, other than the fact
no idea.
It has something to do with this. I think maybe it has to do with like the ceremony, because basically what she's doing is trying to put Dracula's soul into Franz's body, right?
Yep.
And I think it has something to do with that.
Yeah.
But it shows that he's already a vampire before they finish that ceremony.
Yeah.
So, and she says that he's there before the ceremony.
I don't know.
So I don't know what all that's about.
Right.
But I know later they're gonna sacrifice Tanya, the innkeeper's daughter. Yeah. I think her name is Tanya. I got that off of IMDb. Otherwise, she's credited as innkeeper's daughter.
That's fine.
Of portrayed as like the main love interest.
Yeah.
Because he kisses her at one point and like they have a weird moment and then she kind of just fucks off for the rest of the movie until she comes back.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't see her for a while.
Yeah.
Right.
Until she's needed to be the last sacrifice for the wedding because they have to sacrifice. I guess another woman for the wedding.
I don't know why 5 virgins weren't enough.
Oh, that's 5 virgins. That's fucking child's play. We need the final virgin.
Sure.
I think she's supposed to be a virgin. They talk about virginity a lot in this movie.
They do. I think also another bad that we even talked about. I said there's a lack of blood, and then you go, well, there's a lack of a plot.
there's yeah. Well, it's not that there's a lack of a plot. It's just in the middle of the movie, there's like a good 20-minute
more
period, 20 to 30-minute period in the center of the movie where they just stop talking. And everything is just kind of, it's just showing you images.
Right, and Carl's just wandering around.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck this is. Who is the vampire monster? We never get that explained.
No.
And I guess there's just a vampire monster around.
Yep. Yeah, Barry's the spider. And
yeah, I guess. Yeah. And then there's a sex scene between the zombie lady and the countess. Yep. Then there's...
And then the guy Carl was laughing the whole time.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know what they were trying to get at with that.
No idea.
I feel like there was some kind of symbolism or something that they're trying to show us.
Maybe.
Carl was laughing, but maybe it was Franz. Yeah. But I think it was Carl because Franz was wearing the white and Franz was wearing the suit. Right. So...
I don't have any... No.
And they have the Pazuzu charm...
Which I thought was weird that they even mentioned Pazuzu.
Pazuzu was like a real Sumerian deity type thing. Maybe not Sumerian, but some kind of Middle Eastern deity. Right. That later got co-opted into The Exorcist.
Yes.
I don't know about the book. Because I haven't read the book.
William Peter Blatty talked about that.
Did he? Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, that happened a lot. Like where gods of surrounding areas would be often classified as like demonic or enemy gods.
Oh, I see.
Like where there would be like, like the gods of like in Egypt, like or in Greece they would see the gods of Egypt, and there were two forms of thought. It was like, the gods of our enemies are the enemies of our god. Or it would just be like, those people just worship the same gods as us. Right. Kind of like the Romans did. Okay. Where the Romans and the Greeks had this weird thing where they would describe the gods of other places as, they would be like, the people of Germany, they all worship Mars. And right. And it's like, they're just describing the Norse gods, but as Roman gods. Right. It's weird.
I don't know.
It's weird stuff.
Sure.
But anyway, that's kind of where the origin of Pazuzu being a demon kind of comes out of. Okay. With some kind of spirit in... Okay. I want to say like a fertility spirit, but I don't remember.
Yeah, but that's all I have for the bad. I mean, I really don't have much for the bad. I mean, just there's a lack of blood and lack of a main plot.
Yeah, I could have used more blood for a vampire movie. I mean, there's a whole scene where like she's rubbing her naked body and one of them's like pouring a pitcher of blood on top of her, but like
blood. I mean, like we talked about, it's the more
it's colorful. Yeah. And there's this scene where she's walking around with a headless chicken, and like there's no blood in that scene, and weird stuff happening in this movie. Yeah. I liked the little blood shooting out every time they stabbed one.
Right. Yeah. That was cool.
Huh? Yeah, this was a fun movie.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I don't have anything for the ugly.
No, it was not an ugly movie.
No.
It's actually a pretty movie.
Yeah.
Very well shot.
I think so.
If you've ever watched like Dark Shadows, it kind of has like feels like that show.
Sure.
A little bit.
Right. I watched the movie.
You don't have to watch the show.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, are you talking about the Johnny Depp movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's very different.
Okay.
Very different tone. It's a what do you call them? A soap opera.
Oh, then I don't.
But like the camera angles, there were parts where it very much reminded me of it.
Sure.
Where they would just like have really dramatic camera angles, just like pointing in weird directions at people and stuff. And I was like,
right.
I've seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
But they do that in Hammer film too. So maybe because I think that's a British soap opera.
Okay.
Because I think it might have been British. And Hammer films, I think, was British. So they probably and all of those movies came out, or all those things came out around the same time. Because Dark Shadows came out around the late 60s.
Okay.
And Hammer films was still going relatively strong in the 60s. So...
Okay. Yeah, but I don't have anything for the ugly.
No, this is not an ugly movie. It's a nice movie.
Yeah. Any themes or symbolisms that you thought of?
Fuck if I know. They're carrying around an amulet of Pazuzu to save them from vampires and shit.
And that the amulet from Pazuzu is saving them from that red ring thing.
Yeah.
We really don't get an explanation on what that is.
Well, there's a little bit where they do that thing where it was a thing in like the early 70s and kind of the late 60s where it's like the lesbian vampire trope where she starts having the housekeeper and her are having sex and he's sitting there laughing and where it's kind of this whole like portray the homosexuality as the enemy type thing. And it's vampires have always been kind of they've always been like a weird sex thing for everybody. Like, I'm having trouble with my words. But you know what I mean.
It's been a long day.
Everyone knows what I mean. Like, vampires have always been portrayed as like this kind of monster that is all base desires and things like that. And like, it's very easy to look at this movie and be like, yes, they're talking about the homosexuals as the enemies.
Right.
Things like that.
Sure. Yeah. I agree. Final thoughts?
But I don't know if that's actually what they were thinking when they made this movie. They may have just wanted like a lesbian sex scene because it's Italy.
Maybe you just want to be, a little bit exploitive. And
I mean, it's definitely exploitative. This movie's exploitative as fuck. Yeah. That might be able to... Maybe you can put that in the ugly if you want. This is an exploitation movie, guys. Like, straight up. There's a shit ton of nudity in it. And, like, not a ton of violence and gore.
Right.
Honestly, I would argue most of it is relatively tasteful.
Yeah. How about final thoughts, Johnny?
Watch this.
Yeah,
Find this movie. Give this a watch. Yeah. Especially if you like Hammer movies and if you like vampire movies, you might like this. I don't know.
And it isn't a bad watch.
No.
And we've watched a lot worse.
Yeah.
We've watched a lot worse today.
Yeah. This is a solid second as far as 3 movies we watched today.
100%.
Blood Diner was just a treat. That was so good.
Right.
Loved Blood Diner. This one, it's good.
It's not bad.
It's good.
There's nothing great about it.
Yeah.
But it's not bad.
This would have probably been a good opener.
Sure.
We could have watched Blood Diner last.
But that's all right.
Yeah.
I mean, we really wanted to watch Blood Diner for a while now. So
yeah.
I know you mentioned it, and it was like, this is...
I was like, dude, I just learned about this movie, Blood Diner, In Search of Darkness, and we gotta watch this movie.
Right. And here we did.
Watch. Well, this wouldn't have been on that, so... I was gonna say, watch. Like, I watched all 3 of those movies, and they were probably like, oh yeah, The Devil's Wedding Night.
No.
So they mentioned, like, 190 fucking movies in that documentary.
Right. But that was mostly 80s movies.
It's only 80s
movies.
Then
this would not be touched.
This would not even be referenced.
No, this is early 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, but give it a watch.
Yeah, I don't think...
I mean, it's not bad.
I think this might be the first 70s movie we've talked about on B-Views.
Were any of the Giallo films? Were they any of the 70s?
I don't think so, because we only talked about the Gates of Hell trilogy, right?
Yeah.
And I think all the Gates of Hell trilogy is from the 80s. I think City of the Living Dead was 82.
Okay. That very well could
In fact,
be.
I'm pretty sure all 3 of those movies are in Search of Darkness.
Okay. Then this may be the first 70s.
Yeah, I can't think of any.
We've done a lot of them now.
I know. This would be like episode, 75?
Was Night Train, was that? Terror Train, was that in the 70s or no?
No.
No, that was 80s.
Terror Train is 80.
Oh.
Or 81.
Oh,
I think it's like I think that one was a specific reaction to Halloween.
Ah, all right.
Because of it was part of that whole holiday horror boom.
Yeah, right.
In the early 80s.
New Year's.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was 81.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to obviously go through the library, but yeah, I do believe so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did we do House?
No.
No?
No.
We should. That's a good movie. We should do both of those.
We should.
We should do House and House.
We're not touching Open House.
Maybe eventually.
Oh, no, we gotta watch that again.
Open House is hands down the worst movie we have ever watched. I will continue to say that.
I'm telling you, Pet Sematary 2019 is...
Say what you want, at least
It's
it had
up
a
there.
cute cat. And you know what didn't have a cute cat? Fucking Open House. In fact, it had nothing.
No, it was very bad. Anyways, we'll touch Open House.
No,
But yeah, give this a watch.
Good. The Endless.
Yeah.
The Endless was awesome.
We did not review that yet.
No.
No, we have not done that.
I don't know if that's streaming anywhere now.
I don't know. Probably Shudder.
That was a long time ago we watched that.
We watched that twice.
Didn't we accidentally watch like several time loop movies in a row?
We did.
Night?
We did.
On accident?
We did.
I think we watched...
we watched that one,
we
and then we watched...
Triangle and The Endless.
Oh, is that what we did? Because I know we did that one where we watched
and
the
then
one in the
Time
cave.
Trap.
Yep, Time Trap. That was the next week.
That was the next week we watched Time Trap.
Yep.
And we were like, well, since we were watching time loop movies...
Yeah, why not? Because I know Savvy picked Triangle.
Yeah.
Yep.
And who picked The Endless?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
That was 2019. I don't remember 4 years ago when we picked our movies. Because I think that's when we started doing the PS4 share.
Maybe.
Yep.
That might have been like one of the first ones.
Yep. Because we were doing the Facebook chat for a while.
Yeah.
Those were the good old days.
I don't know how good they were.
Now I'm only 8 miles away.
Yeah.
Now 319 miles away. Anyways, yeah. So this was not a bad film. Give it a watch.
Definitely watch this.
Yep,
Look
give it
for
a
this
watch.
one. Although I will say this Blu-ray copy's a little janky.
Yeah, it's not the greatest, but that kind of gives the.
It doesn't have subtitles, and this doesn't bother me, but it definitely had. You can tell there was wear on the original.
I don't mind that though. It was annoying, but then it's like, oh, this is kind of timeless.
It reminds me of like when you'd find old VHS.
Yes,
tapes.
that's what I like about it. That's what I like.
There are definitely some like what would you call them? Like damage, damage to the reel.
Yep. Yeah, because you've seen that yellow outline for half of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just like a little yellow squiggle down the middle.
Yeah. That was kind of cool.
Man.
Yeah. It was annoying at first. Oh, this alludes to film.
It didn't really bother me that much, but I also have that Echo Bridge set.
Oh.
Like, you've probably seen them because I've had them for a really long time.
Yeah.
I got them back when I lived in Louisiana.
Okay.
And I picked up both sets because it's like horror, the Ultimate Horror Collection, Volume 1 and 2, or something like that. There are 40 movies on each of them. Or 40 on one, and then 41 on the other, but total 80 movies because one of the movies is duplicated on both sets.
Sure.
So, like, all of those movies, they have, like, disclaimers before them that say, like, this movie was just taken from the original copy. It was not remastered or anything.
Oh, nice.
So, like, they're all really old movies that are just in terrible condition.
Sure.
Like, some of them, like, there's no subtitles on any of them because it's Echo Bridge and it's a shitty company.
Right.
But, like, I kind of love it because all of them, you can, some of them, you're like, Jesus Christ, the film roll was shot to hell.
Uh-huh.
Because, like, it'll just start, like, like full screen is just like jerking around and shit, and you're like, holy fuck, dude! I can't believe you sold this.
Right. Sure. Right. Okay, yeah, but give this a watch.
Yeah. Watch this movie.
Yep. Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah.
Watch all my.
We'll do all
of our shit.
Thanks for showing up. Watch all of our videos.
Yeah. Watch them all.
Say goodbye, Jason.
Bye, Voorhees. I gotta get your shit in machete. Yeah.
Gotta find that thing.
I do.
Does he make noise or anything?
Yeah, I gotta find the power cord too.
Oh.
Yeah. I got it half.
I was gonna say, I thought he moved around and shit.
He does.
And I think he has a motion sensor on him too.
I have never touched the motion sensor.
He does though.
I know he does.
Because I'm pretty sure
I don't turn that on.
I'm pretty sure I turned it on once.
I know he did.
And like scared the shit out of people as they came in.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because don't his eyes light up and everything?
No.
No?
No, they move.
Yeah.
Yeah, they move. Yep.
He moves around a lot.
Yeah.
'Cause he's...
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Alrighty. Well, thanks, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
For everything.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
We need subscribers.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, thanks, everybody.
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
Woo.
Happy weekend. Bye.